Today I'm having one of our agents from way back, started in 2009. Welcome, Anney.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm just going to ask you some questions about her experience and how she found the package and the industry, and well, she can give you a bit of an idea of what you're in for. Okay, let's start.
Okay.
So, Anney, how did you first get to know about the industry, and how did you first come on board? Just give us an idea of where it all started.
Well, it started in 2009 when I was sitting at home and this letter arrived in the mail.
Yeah.
And it was about an 8-page brochure, and it had a tea bag stuck to it, which I thought was a fantastic idea. It said, make yourself a cup of tea, sit down and read about this new business opportunity. So I did. I made the cup of tea, I sat down and I thought, oh, this sounds fantastic, helping people finding the money and then finding the rightful owner, a bit of detective work and a bit of and then finding them, contacting them, telling them the good news and helping them with the paperwork to get it back. So I thought it was a win-win-win. I was very excited.
What were you doing at the time?
I had my own indoor plant hire business actually that I'd been running for 35 years.
Wow.
And it was very successful, but I just felt like I wanted a change. I was just sort of over it. The industry had changed a lot, and I was just sort of looking for something new and something that I could do from the comfort of my home or a small office.
Lovely.
Yeah, and this just fitted the bill perfectly.
Nice.
And I liked the way you had the photo on the front of your brochure, because it was really good. I just could see you speaking to me, you know, as opposed to going, is this written by a man, or no, it was written by a woman, like myself, although...
So we do have men as clients.
Yes.
We like men.
We love men.
Okay, lovely. So tell me, what were your initial motivations in coming on board? What made you kind of think, yeah, maybe this is it, and made you make that big change from industry to industry and something going in?
Well, I could see the benefits of working, first of all, for myself, working from home. It didn't require a big outlay. Would purchase your course, but you soon make that money back within a few jobs very easily. And it didn't, all you needed was a couple $100 really for a little bit of stationery, which you don't even need to buy now. You can do it on Word yourself, and a few stamps. A lot of people just use internet. So for a couple $100 you're on your way, which is fantastic. There's no other business like that really that you need to go bank and get a loan for 20, 40, 50,000, but this is none of that. So it was excellent, and you can work as much or as little as you like. Yeah,
it's lovely.
Perfect, and bringing people good news. Who doesn't like to hear good news? So very rewarding.
And 6 years, you've been in it for about 6 years, 6.5 years. Does it still feel the same as when you very first started with that, the fact that it's, because, we obviously, I'm a huge advocate of it. It's made a massive change in my life, and in others' lives, all the same. So I've seen that. So when I advocate and I go, wow, it's just amazing. I want to see someone else's experience 6 years on in the business. Has it been rewarding to you? Has it been?
Oh, definitely. I've changed so much as well. When I think about how I bumbled through those first couple of weeks and what I know now, it's a fantastic excuse me, it's a fantastic learning curve. From something that you know nothing about, it's a challenge, and you have these aha moments all the time. Aha, right, okay, that's how I do that, and that's how I get this, and this is how I contact that person, and this is the sort of message I would leave for them. Oh yeah, I've changed so much, and I've got this business right down to a fine art. I can do it with my eyes closed, really. It's excellent.
Thank you. Okay, so I've got a set of questions here. So what would you say are the highlights of your recovery career as a whole? Give me some highlights and some experiences, some things that that you think made it worthwhile?
Mainly it would be the lovely clients, actually. Yeah, I recovered over $100,000 for these two chaps down in Melbourne, who had in their business name. They'd had a lot of people actually contacting them, and then I just happened to call at the right time. They thought, right, we're going to do something about this. We're obviously not going to do it ourselves. We're going to get somebody professional. So that was lovely.
Yeah.
I found another $20,000 for this lovely girl up in Queensland whose parents had passed away over in the States. And that was a bit of a complicated procedure, but we followed it through. She got her money and she was very grateful. I found $40,000 for a girl in Holland who had her brother or her cousin, actually, he was a broker. She had him invest money in shares, and they'd been sold. So that was a nice little windfall for her. Probably two of my favourite clients was a husband and wife down in Melbourne. They had $150,000 actually, two investments that became due. They'd been to see a financial advisor. Financial advisor doesn't always, I've found, doesn't always tell his clients, make them aware of what investments they're in. So luckily I found this couple, they'd moved from Melbourne up to Queensland. So luckily they had all of their paperwork, so they were able to claim that back, which is fantastic.
How nice is that?
Yeah. Excellent. That was a call they really loved to receive.
Yeah. My second job was $160,000, I think. And so, that bankrolled my business. And I hear this story all the time where, these amazing little drops come through and suddenly, you're in business and you're doing really well. And that's the beauty of recovery. You don't get that anywhere else.
Yeah, people are so grateful. You're sort of best friends because you've spoken to them on the phone quite a few times.
And having people call you and say, hey, I'm going to give you $150,000. That'd be my best friend.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
So, what, in your experience, what's been the big pluses for being in this business? I mean, you've come from business as well, so you had business experience previously. In your experience, what's been the real pluses for going from traditional business to being agent in your own home business, and what challenges, if any, compared to what you were doing before?
Well, like when you go into a new business, it's a learning curve, but it doesn't take long to pick it up. Actually, and once you've done a job for a client, recovering money from let's say Westpac Bank. The next one that you find from Westpac Bank, you know exactly what to do. You've done the research.
Once you've got your bases covered,
exactly.
It's easier, obviously, like anything.
That's right. The other thing I love about it is that you can work as little or as much as you like, which is perfect. Sometimes I work 2 hours a day, sometimes I work no hours a day, sometimes if I'm on a roll, I work 12 hours a day, I just can't stop. And I'm working until 2 in the morning. And
our energies vary. Some days you don't feel like doing anything, I just want to go and sit in the garden, and other days I'm, exactly. So, we're not always feeling the same, we're not always in the same moods as people, and this business, So have you, what are the pluses and what challenges, tell me?
Well, the pluses are definitely the hours you work for yourself, so you're your own boss. The biggest thing I love about it is that you can go away and travel. You can go to Europe for 3 months and not have to worry about the business, providing that you've got all of the jobs that you're working on at the time, as long as you've got them all finished, finalised, got the money for the clients, sent them, being paid, which is the best part, and everything's finished, so you can actually go over to Europe for 3 or 4 months or 6 months and not have to worry whatsoever. Then when you come back, you start looking for new claims again, contact the people, and then it starts. And
it's not a business that costs you money while you're holidaying or while you're just taking time out, which is fantastic. Those businesses bleed you.
Yes, exactly. And
marketing costs, all of that doesn't exist.
No, exactly. And every time I go away with people who've got their own business. They're on that phone all the time, checking emails, worrying about the time. Oh, I've got to call this person, time difference. I mean, we could do that if we wanted to as well. There's nothing to stop us, but we don't have to if we don't want to, which is lovely. But other people just don't have that choice. They've got to be hands-on.
And any challenges?
Challenges? No, not really. It took me a little bit of time to sort of to contact people and to work out what I was going to say. I don't leave a message if I'm calling somebody at home. I don't leave a message. Only because people sort of kind of come home, they're busy, they're not focused, and they go, oh, what's this? Wipe the message, you know, that sort of thing. I prefer to call back and actually connect with somebody. If I'm collecting money for a business, I always speak to like the secretary. I find they're very helpful, organises the boss's paperwork.
But do you find any of that challenging?
No, not at all, not at all.
No.
Not at all. My secret is when I'm ringing up people and trying to find...
Don't tell any secret.
No. No, that's all right. I'm happy to share. It's good karma. But I always say, hello, my name. I introduce myself, and I was just wondering if you could help me. So all of a sudden, then their focus is on helping me, not what do I want. Yes, and I go, I'm trying to locate. I think it's your mother maybe, and she lives over in Italy. Oh yes, that's right. And then away we go.
Lovely.
And
that's just basic good people skills.
Exactly.
And in this business, you're working at home anyway, so a bit of socialisation doesn't hurt.
Yes, at home in your dressing gown most of the time. Luckily we don't have video phones. Have to have mine on switched off.
I use Skype, I just don't have the video. So, all right. Would you, if you were to advise someone that's thinking of coming on board and they're just not sure which way to go, shouldn't I, is this for me? How would you advise them? I mean, you know, I always say just go for it, but that's my personality. I'm entrepreneurial and I like to just, you know, push through. And because I know there's rewards, especially in business, but what would you advise them to do?
The good thing about is it's not expensive. So, I mean, you know, for few $1,000s, they've got their own business. They don't need to start it straight away if they don't want to. They can do some paper trading, just having a look, trying to find the people before they make any phone calls, or if they don't need to make phone calls, they can just send out letters if they like, which is quite successful. So it's you know, if you purchased a business for $100,000, you'd need to be working from day one to be paying that back. Whereas the lovely thing about this is just as you're ready, you have to be in the right frame of mind. So sometimes you may need to do a little work on yourself, a bit of your self-belief, but that's always a good thing anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and you build your confidence through business anyway.
Exactly.
My confidence grows through business.
Yes, exactly. Like the first time, you don't really know what you're doing, but hey, everybody has to start somewhere.
Right.
So we've all done that in any business, that we've all bluffed it and what's that thing? Fake it until you make it.
Fake it until you make it. And my favourite one, feel the fear and then do it anyway.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly. Just have to push through and like as I say, occasionally you'll find a bit of a grumpy customer who won't want to know you. Oh, what's this money? Oh. But still, I mean, that's very few and far between.
And that's reality. That's society and community.
And it's not about me. It's their problem. It's
Absolutely.
not mine. It's just something happening in their life that they're not happy with, and it's just reflected. I'm just happen to be the person who's called him that day. If I had called him tomorrow or yesterday, probably would have been fine. But
So 6 years in the business, what would you say about it as a very quick final? I call it the ultimate business.
It is the ultimate business. There's just nothing else like it. There's nothing like it. You know, a lot of people sort of sell on the internet, but that's still, you know, I don't know. People either want it or they don't. Whereas who doesn't want money that belongs to them? And sometimes it's a bit of a complicated procedure, which is where we come in, because it doesn't take long before you know the ropes and know exactly how to get it in a very short amount of time.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you.